Is 2025 going to be the year of the Chinese motorcycle manufacturer? Watch this video. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. Very quick video here talking about 2025, this coming year ahead. Is it going to be the year of the Chinese motorcycle manufacturers selling their bikes, not only in the Chinese market, but certainly around the world, and actually getting more and more of a foothold in the Western market, certainly in Europe, and potentially even to the United States and Canada? Well, this could be a thing if they come out with really decent bikes. Now, I've seen over the last year, 2 years, Chinese motorcycle manufacturers getting much, much better. And I've started to make videos about them on this very point. It's the quality, it's the performance, and their strong associations with Western manufacturers, let's say Harley-Davidson, let's say KTM, with CF Moto. All of a sudden they're producing really great bikes. The problem is they're also producing really naff bikes as well. I made a big video last year about the Swoho S2000 that they wanted to bring out, which is basically a Honda Goldwing kind of clone, as it were. There's a new company on the block that want to bring out this electric adventure bike. I mean, just take a look at the photos of this thing. They've even got a clone of a Harley-Davidson bar and shield on the engine casing as well. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody else has spotted this, but it's just... So on some regard, you think, oh, these Chinese bikes are really good, like CF Moto. You think, that's really good here. And some of these sort of smaller bikes, so let's say from Sinis or for Keyway and stuff like that, and you think, oh, wow, you know, the bike from that part of the world, you know, Korea, China, you think, well, they're not bad, you know, good value for money. But then you kind of look at the styling and then you think, ugh. And then you look at, well, how reliable are these things? How much value is there in these? Well, it all comes down to the initial price. So if you're just buying a bike for, let's say, £2,000 or £3,000, dollars, shekels, whatever it is, let's face it, you don't expect it to last that long. But if it fulfills a need for you to have a bike, let's say for a couple of years, and then you've got at least the potential for it to be repaired somewhere, then it might be worth it, right? But after that, it's almost like a throwaway item. Now, I don't like to see that happen in any kind of, you know, mechanical thing. I think, you know, they should be given a new lease of life or given the opportunity to have a new lease of life. But let's face it, that is the modern world. Even with Western motorcycles or Western manufacturing of any kind, a lot of it's kind of throwaway items now. So these are cheap, really cheap motorcycles from China. Then you kind of think, well, they are what they are. They'll last a couple of years and that's it. You just trade in and get a new one, let's say. But the parts are more readily available these days. There's no doubt. And there's some really good ones out there. But there are also some really duff ones. What's been happening the last couple of years, they've been bringing out better motorcycles, bigger engine sizes, covering different styles of motorcycles, cruisers, touring motorcycles, adventure tourers, adventure bikes, all this kind of stuff. They're bringing out street bikes. So there's lots of opportunity here for Western motorcycle riders to buy these bikes and have a lot of fun, but also not break the bank. Now, I know what you're saying. Why buy a Chinese motorcycle when you can buy, you know, a Western manufactured motorcycle for maybe just a little bit more, or in some cases even cheaper? What's happened the last few years is that a lot of the manufacturers have kind of had a lot of, I don't know, influence or cross-fertilization from manufacturers in India and also in China, and also a lot of the parts are also made over there. So one of the problems is you say, well, you can buy a Western bike thinking it's a Western bike, but it isn't really. A lot of it is all manufactured over there as well. You might just be paying a higher premium. The company is still based in Europe or the United States, but a lot of the parts come from over there as well. So there's a lot of similarity with the bikes that you find in the Western markets, but also coming out of China. In fact, China is known for cloning a lot of the Western manufacturers' bikes as well. But if you ignore the value, if you ignore the prices, if you ignore what the bike is, let's say, and you just go like for like, then you can say that might be a cheaper made motorcycle, a cheaper brand, but it might be something that I'll be more interested if I can't get a motorcycle from Western producers that tick the same amount of boxes. So it comes down to price, but it also comes down to usability and what future riders really want. Now, I've been making videos recently where I say, actually, there's quite a few motorcycles coming onto the market the last 12 months where you would think, oh, they should be more expensive, but actually they're hitting the sweet spot. Let's say mid-sized bikes, let's say £6,000 to £8,000. larger bikes, let's say from 10 to 12,000 pounds. And indeed, that's exactly what's happening. You can get some decent Moto Guzzi's still on the market. You can get motorcycles from other manufacturers and you're getting a good deal. You don't have to pay the really big prices. And this is where I believe a lot of the Western manufacturers, they have responded to the price war, as it were, in terms of we have to do something about the bikes that potentially come from India and that potentially come from China into the Western markets. What prices are we going to sell our motorcycles at? And the solution is, well, don't manufacture all your parts here in the UK or Europe or United States. Don't manufacture your bikes here. Maybe switch it up and move it around the world. As long as the quality is good, as long as we can assure the supply chain afterwards for parts and service and backup, that's all that matters. And indeed, that is all that matters. So if that's the case, then you can buy great motorcycles from Western manufacturers, but essentially there's not a lot of difference really between these and Chinese ones that are going to be coming, not now, but in the next couple of years as well. 2025 could be one of these years that we see a real strong influx of motorcycles and good quality motorcycles from China, but hold your horses, you're also going to see a load of old tosh as well. There's no denying it. There's going to be some crap ones coming out, and you kind of be scratching your head thinking, who the hell's going to buy this sort of stuff? It might be great as a bit of a gimmick, but let's face it, who's going to want to buy it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. One of the big things that's happened here in Europe and also in the UK is that you can buy Chinese bikes on the internet. I've always been really interested to see, okay, you buy these bikes, but what's the after-sales service? What's the service like? How do you get the bike serviced? How do you get the bike repaired? What happens with that after-sale? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you bought one of these bikes, let's say off the internet, off one of the importers, what happens with the servicing of these bikes? Or are you left to your own devices? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, we'll just keep on watching the videos and I'll catch you again. Bye now.